Most people overpay for products like this. Here's why this one is different. I recently picked up the Ricoh Color Scanner Option, IS760D, for a project that required high-quality scans of old family photos, and it's turned out to be a real workhorse. If you're tired of blurry scans or paying premium prices for decent color accuracy, this might be the upgrade you need. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I've used everything from cheap flatbed scanners to some of the more expensive office-grade ones, and the difference here is noticeable right away. The IS760D uses a 400 dpi optical sensor, which means it's capturing the fine details in photos without any interpolation tricks that can soften edges. For things like old receipts, faded documents, or even small print in books, that resolution makes a huge difference. I was able to scan a 1970s magazine ad and still read the tiny text at the bottom without squinting, something my old $150 scanner couldn't do without looking pixelated. One thing that surprised me was the flexibility in output settings. Most scanners lock you into preset resolutions like 300 dpi or 600 dpi, but this one lets you dial in anything from 75 dpi all the way up to 800 dpi in single dpi increments. That's not just for show, it's actually useful. If you're scanning something you plan to print large, like a poster or a high-res flyer, you can bump it up to 600 or 800 dpi to preserve every detail. But if you're just archiving a quick document or emailing a photo, 150 or 200 dpi is plenty and keeps file sizes manageable. I've used it for both, sending clean scans of handwritten notes to a colleague and printing a crisp 8x10 from an old photo without any loss of quality. The 10-bit internal capture is another standout. Most scanners only do 8-bit, which gives you 256 shades of gray. This one goes to 10-bit, meaning 1024 gray levels. That might sound like overkill, but when you're scanning something with subtle gradients, like a black and white photograph or a detailed line drawing, it makes the difference between a flat, banded scan and one that looks smooth and natural. I tested it on a vintage black and white photo of a landscape, and the sky went from looking blotchy to having a smooth, even gradient. If you're restoring old photos or working with artwork, that kind of tonal range really matters. It's also surprisingly fast for a scanner in this price range. I expected it to chug when pushing high resolutions, but even at 600 dpi, it finished a full letter-size scan in under 15 seconds. That's not blazing fast, but it's consistent and doesn't leave you waiting around. I've used it in batches too, scanning stacks of documents for digitizing old tax files, and it handled the workload without slowing down or overheating. The automatic document feeder isn't included, but if you're scanning stacks of loose pages, a basic $20 feeder works fine with it. Setup is straightforward too. It connects via USB, and Ricoh includes a simple driver that integrates with Windows and Mac OS. I had it up and running in under 5 minutes, and the software is intuitive enough that I didn't need to read a manual. There's even a quick scan button on the front panel, which is handy if you're doing repetitive tasks like scanning receipts or business cards. Now, it's not perfect. The biggest downside is the lack of an automatic document feeder in the base model. If you're scanning more than a few pages at a time, you'll need to buy one separately or feed pages manually, which can get tedious. Also, the scanner itself is a bit bulky, it's not something you'll toss in a bag for travel. And while the color accuracy is good, if you're doing professional level color work, you might still want to calibrate it with a color chart, which isn't included. Overall, though, this is a solid scanner for the price. It's reliable, produces high-quality scans, and gives you the flexibility to tweak settings for different projects. If you're tired of blurry scans or paying extra for features you don't need, this one's worth a look. You'll find the link below if you want to check it out.